So I felt like talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. The reason is that it's probably my favorite game of all time, and over the years I've come to enjoy it even more and more because I'm 19 now. So when I played it first in 2018, well, I'm not 19 yet, but I will be 19 soon. Anyways, when I first played it in 2018, I was about 12 years old, and the amount of hype I had for this game was incredible, and I don't think I will ever be that hyped for a game again, which is why I think it will probably be my favorite game of all time forever. So, a little bit of context, right? I live in a joint family with three elder siblings, one real brother, and two cousins. So, in terms of games, I always kind of used to get the hand me downs. So, I was like shamefully an iPad game player for a really long time, and then I got a PSP, which really revolutionized the way I viewed games. And then eventually, by the time my elder siblings got a PS4, I got handed down a PS3. And so I wanted to get more into games and play good games. Um, so my elder brother recommended that I play Red Dead Redemption 1 and Noir at that time because Rockstar is kind of like the all father of like these type of single player games for more mainstream audiences or whatever. So, and especially with the craze that came after Grand Theft Auto 5, I feel like they just became the company that people knew about. So, I bought Red Dead Redemption 1 and LA Noir, and I played through them. This must have been some point in 2016 or 2017. And I really enjoyed Red Dead Redemption. Given for sure at the point I did not really understand the complexities of the game or of the characters, but I just have always thought Western settings are so cool. And I think that's also increased after I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 because I really loved that. But I think even from the start, I really enjoyed Western settings in movies and games and shows alike. So yeah, I played Red Dead Redemption 1 and I really enjoyed it. And by coincidence, like I had no prior knowledge that Rockstar was already developing Red Dead Redemption 2 at this point. So when I found out from the first trailer that must have dropped again some point in 2016 or 2017 for Red Dead Redemption 2, I was so extremely hyped because it just seemed like fate or whatever, I guess, that I had just played the first one and then the trailer for the second one comes out. And yeah, my tiny brain was, I guess, mind blown at that point. Um, so yeah, I was extremely hyped for Red Dead Redemption 2. I would come back home after school, and I'd recently gotten a new laptop as well because school has started, doing stuff online and the digitized age or whatever. So yeah, I would come back and I would watch the teaser or the first trailer that dropped so many times over and over just to look at this game. And I think this was also the first time I got into Reddit, which probably a mistake, but yeah, I would look into details or little leaks or little information kind of drops about Red Dead Redemption 2 and everything that the game would have. I remember off the top one YouTuber, big shout out, Legacy Killer HD. I used to watch his like 100 things coming to Red Dead Redemption 2 videos, and it was exceptional. Like just hearing about like your hair would grow over time in the game, and like you'd have to care for your horse and things that would probably seem, you would think to a 12-year-old, very menial, but like it seemed so real and kind of impossible in a video game that I was so extremely hyped. And also, I was a Rockstar shill back then, and I probably still am. But yeah, I was again so extremely hyped to the point where I think this was the first and last game I've ever pre ordered by myself. Well, not by myself, I asked my brother to do it for me, but nonetheless, I'd pre ordered the game like 3 or 4 months in advance, which again, unprecedented. And then launch day comes, which was 26th October, 28th October, something like that in 2018. And so I wake up early, 9 a.m. Well, That's not very early, but for 12-year-old me on a weekend, that's pretty early. Um, and I'm waiting for the game to show up. Noon rolls around, the game is not here. 1 p.m., 2 p.m., the game isn't here. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna ask my father if I can go to the video game store, which is in a mall close to my house, and just buy the physical copy. And then whenever the pre-order finally showed up from Amazon, I'd just issue a refund or like replace it for something else. And clearly, my dad could see how excited I was for this game, and so he said yes. And so I went to the mall. I bought a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2, which also in India, like physical copies are like suspiciously cheap at release. So I got it for like discount for at like 2,800 rupees, 3,000 rupees, which is like 30 bucks ish, I want to say. I don't know what the exchange rate was at the time. But yeah, it was a steal. Anyways, I came back. So I pop in the first disc for download, and then I'm super excited, but I have to go for tuition because I have to study because I'm an Indian kid. Anyways, that happens, and tuition ends. I'm expecting to go back and like pop in the disc and start playing. And then I'm distraught to find out that half of the download is also on the second disc, which I thought was just the play disc because it said that it was the play disc. But anyways, then I put that in and I'm still waiting. And then finally, by evening, I have the game ready to go. And yeah, I start playing Red Dead Redemption 2 and I'm blown away right from the start. The first chapter in Colder, like seeing all these characters again, a lot of them from the first game, which even though again I did not understand the complexities of, I was extremely hyped to see. And so yeah, I played through the entire game and it was an exceptional experience to the point where I think I was like drawing up posters of Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year and like taking them to school, like trying to get everyone involved into this game. And I feel like for a 12-year-old, it's like a very weird game to get this involved in because it's a really slow burn. And if anyone has played it, I feel like that's a problem that a lot of people have with this game, especially like when GTA 5 was around and all the cool kids wanted to play GTA 5. I was out there like, what do you call, marching for Red Dead 2, like play this game or whatever. And I even got some of my friends to come home so that we'd play Red Dead 2, and none of them kind of liked it because we didn't really play the story. We were just roaming around in the open world, and I think that's definitely a game better experienced by yourself and through its story and characters than roaming around on your horse with friends, like 8 friends watching the TV screen. But yeah, nonetheless, so yeah, that's kind of like my anecdotal why I love Red Dead Redemption 2. And I think since then I've played it 2 more times, start to finish, and I think each time I have liked it more because again, as I've grown up, I've kind of started to understand the complexities of it even more, and it like continues to blow my mind every single time I play it. Because at the time I also kind of just like beeline through the story, which I don't think is the correct way to play that game or most games for that matter. But yeah, I didn't understand that back then. I kind of just like played the story instead of getting lost in the world. But I think the world of it is so exceptional. The music is so great. I think every single mission is memorable, and yeah, it's the best story told in video games in my opinion, and best everything probably. And like I don't have, I guess, a lot in terms of content to add to the conversation that already exists around Red Dead 2 because I myself have noticed a lot of its things through YouTube videos and the such. But I think over time I feel like people, well, I don't know over time, but at the time I feel like people kind of hated on Red Dead 2 because it was like, ooh, Rockstar has done it again or whatever. And I feel like everyone was kind of rallying behind God of War 2018 because, again, exceptional game. It was bringing back an old IP in an iconic fashion, and it kind of paved the path for PlayStation games from that point onwards. But I like being me so obsessed with this game at 12 years old. I just had absolute blinders. I was like, how dare they not give this game of the year? It's the greatest game ever made. But while over time I have understood that why everybody does not love Red Dead 2, I think for me it's kind of the perfect game, and it also kind of shaped the things or made me realize the things that I enjoy in pop culture in general, whether that be movies, games, or TV shows, which is kind of that slow burn story that like takes you through its paces, its world over time, and you really have to sink into it. And the world building is exceptional. You kind of have to get lost in it. Something that like I really enjoy in movies like Dune Part 1, and I don't know, like there's a lot more slow burn kind of movies that like I see a movie being 3 hours long, I'm like, heck yes, let's do this. Anyways, tangents. So yeah, I think Red Dead 2 is an incredible game. And over time I feel like people have started to appreciate it again when it was kind of fun to hate on it at the time. But yeah, again, back to why this will probably be my favorite game of all time. I think it was an extremely satisfying if you want to say conclusion, but like tying together of this story. And given the kind of timing of when I had played Red Dead 1 and started to get in, like really get into single player games instead of just like FIFA with my friends, I don't think that set of circumstances or any set of circumstances will come around where I will be hyped for a game to this extent. And because of that, I don't think there'll be any game that'll be able to top Red Dead 2 for me. And yeah, like just a couple of other tangents about it that I felt like I wanted to talk about for a while. People have like a lot of problem with the combat and like how Arthur is kind of like slumbering along, but I've always found the combat also to be extremely satisfying. While I understand all the criticisms that are levied upon it, I think like the scrunch of your Lancaster repeater when you reload it and you see the shell pop out and then you go for another headshot, like it's by no means your Soulsborne experience or God of War 2018 or Ragnarok for that matter. But I think for me it was still extremely satisfying. And all the things that made it seem so real. You know, you hear anecdotes about all these people who like played Metal Gear Solid 1 back in the day and they're like, holy hell, this is like the realest video game I've ever played. For me, obviously the context is very different with like the evolution of technology and video games as a whole in 2018 versus like 1998 or whatever, but it felt real to me. And again, everything like your hair growing, having to take care of your horse, and your guns don't just come out of your pockets like GTA. I think for me it just did something, and I really enjoyed it. And that's why I think Red Dead 2 is a masterpiece and will probably be my favorite game of all time. Now, another tangent just at the end about this channel. I didn't really feel like doing an introduction video because I feel like the title is kind of self explanatory. I just felt like talking because I don't have much work to do right now in summer holidays, and I kind of felt guilty for not doing anything because my university is kind of extremely intensive, and so sitting free these days just feels weird. So I thought I've been thinking about making a channel like this for a while, or like writing blogs or something, but I feel like when I'm able to ramble, I better put across my thoughts than like curating things and writing it. So this is by no means any video essay content or anything. Probably anything that will be bringing new to the conversation of pop culture, but as someone who really enjoys video games and movies and doesn't always have the time or the people to talk to them about, I figured I'd just make this channel to scratch that itch sometimes when I feel like. So again, not aiming to make regular videos or cater to a specific audience, but just putting my point of view out there so I get an avenue to talk about things I like to talk about. And yeah, that's about it. Peace.